Welcome to the Lighthouse. This is a special section of the NASBLA website created several years ago by the Engineering Reporting and Analysis Committee, or ERAC for short. Originally, it was intended to be a place where the community of producers and users of recreational boating incident report and other boating data could interact with each other to resolve boating safety research questions. But it evolved over the years to house tools, resources, and policy products, the majority being ERAC products, and the lion's share produced in close collaboration with the states, Coast Guard, nonprofits, and industry partners. A lot of good products, guidance, and best practices that the committee knew would be of use to producers and users of the incident report data and other boating data and statistics, but only if they could be easily found. So over the last few years, the Lighthouse team evaluated the pages, all of their content, and how the information was organized. And then with a plan in mind, they did some major reorganization to make this resource more user-friendly. Along with that, over several months, other ERAC work groups took on the task of evaluating key products that had been developed in the span from 2012 to 2018. Still relevant, but needing updates to reflect recent policy and the evolving boating environment. So let's take a quick look around. For those of you who've referred to these online resources in the recent past, you'll immediately notice the major changes to the organization of this newly revised Lighthouse. For those of you who've never visited, we hope you'll find it easy to navigate. So how do you get to the Lighthouse? Well, there are several paths. From the NASBLA homepage, you can find the Lighthouse and a drop-down menu at the top navigation line. You can also get to it by clicking on the Lighthouse icon below the banner. When you're at the Lighthouse homepage, you can access the 6 major components of the site. That's the incident reporting policy resources, statistics and data, news and alerts, a Lighthouse discussion forum, a Lighthouse library, and a section that's just about ERAC. We won't take a tour through all 6 sections. Instead, we're just going to focus on 2 of the major components that have the most resources in the Lighthouse. The first is the Incident Reporting Policy Resources page. This page actually has been live since 2023. That was the year that the Coast Guard issued the Recreational Boating Incident Reporting Policy Letter. And on this page, you'll find a link to the policy letter, a set of frequently asked questions about the policy, a couple of tools that will help you determine which incidents actually require a federal report, and a chart that will show you the terms and definitions that are used, the old ones against the new ones. Down at the bottom of the page, you'll find more guidance and best practices for reporting. In fact, you'll find the links to these resources also in the Statistics and Data section that we'll be looking at next. You can get to statistics and data from the Lighthouse homepage, or in this case, from the Lighthouse sidebar menu. First of all, don't be intimidated by the name of this section. It has 3 parts: practical guidance and best practices for recording, gathering, and entering critical pieces of incident report data, tools for creating state-level data products, and information about a couple of the major national products, the annual statistics that the Coast Guard produces, and the National Recreational Boating Safety Surveys. You can do more exploring when you get here, but let's take a quick look at the Incident Report Guidance, Data Gathering, and Entry section. Here you'll find that some of the links on this page will take you to additional resource pages, and a couple will open directly to a document. I'll note here that all of the resource pages and documents in this section were reviewed and updated in 2025. Let's jump back to the Lighthouse homepage. After you've done some exploring, if you have any feedback or questions, please feel free to send them to info@nasbla.org and use the subject line Lighthouse Feedback. Thank you for joining us on this quick tour of the newly revamped Lighthouse. We'll be sharing more information in the future about the products on this site, and we hope you'll find them useful for your work.